first state arts council in the U.S. was established in New York by Nelson Rockefeller just after he'd been elected governor. Rockefeller extended the efforts of his predecessor, W. Averill Harriman, to establish a state arts agency. And as an enterprising collector of visual art, and the son of the founder of the Museum of Modern Art, he wanted to establish in New York, and eventually in the entire U.S., an institution similar to the British Arts Council. However, there appeared to be another motive at work. The motive is mixed and cunning as many other Nelson Rockefeller public interest designs. Since the operation of museums and symphony orchestras had become progressively more costly in the post-World War II period, arts councils could also serve the function of making culture less dependent upon the patronage of rich people. Initially, this might be regarded as beneficial development, as wealthy patrons could be capricious. On the other hand, the state's assumption of expenses previously borne by wealthy trustees would take a load off their pocketbooks. And since the wealthy trustees of orchestras and museums also tended to be large contributors to political campaigns, some of this money thereby saved could be funneled into more partisan purposes. If arts councils could be blessed with government money, it was calculated, then the tax-paying middle class would implicitly collaborate with the wealthier class in paying for the museums and symphony orchestras, all while the rich would retain the traditional control of museums and symphony orchestras. In New York State itself, a precedent for this public support of a private cultural vision had been established in the construction of Lincoln Center, which likewise began as a Rockefeller family project. The accurate term for this diversion is socializing the costs. In other words, to get the public to help contribute to the running of the art museum through public funds, through arts councils, socializing the costs. Governor Rockefeller's speech in May 17, 1971 to the Business Committee on the Arts in Washington, D.C. reveals his thinking, and I'm quoting Rockefeller. But in the United States today, the arts are also in trouble. The demand for their works, the size of their audiences, the vigor and imagination of their practitioners have not been matched by their economic prosperity, or in plain fact, their ability to survive. A discouraging number of arts institutions, including many of high prestige and long-standing, are literally on the edge of financial disaster. Okay, Rockefeller said the arts are in trouble. The cry for help is familiar. What should not go unnoticed, is the unfamiliar formulation. The arts that are in trouble are not artists, or even particular arts, at times reportedly dead because of the avant-garde revolution. Now, what's in trouble is arts institutions, which in Rockefeller's scenarios are literally on the edge of financial disaster. This could account for why the New York State Legislature's budget statute for the original Arts Council promises, and I quote, state financial assistance to nonprofit cultural organizations offering services to the general public, including but not limited to orchestras, dance companies, museums, and theater groups. In the same speech, Rockefeller continued to his fellow businessmen. We here in New York State have more reason than most to note in accurate detail what the present-day predicament of the arts really is. For over a decade now, our state council on the arts, which I was rash enough, I wish I could say prophetic enough to propose during my first campaign in '57, had pioneered in the field of government assistance for the arts. Over the past 2 years, the state legislature has voted substantial appropriations of aid to cultural organizations, larger last year than the sum provided by the federal government for the